According to a 2023 Pew Research study, 38% of women in the United States say they are not in a relationship and have absolutely no desire to be in one. Not because they were hurt, not because they gave up, but because they chose it deliberately, consciously, happily. And yet, society keeps asking the same exhausting question: why is she still single? But what if that's the completely wrong question? What if the real question is, what do these women know that the rest of us don't? Because here's what the psychology actually says, and it's going to challenge everything. For centuries, the cultural narrative has been simple. A woman without a partner is a woman waiting to be chosen, waiting to be completed. Psychologists call this the deficit model of singlehood, the assumption that being single is a problem to be solved, not a life to be lived. But here's where it gets interesting. Dr. Bella DePaulo, a Harvard-trained social psychologist and author of Singled Out, spent decades studying single people. And what she found shattered the deficit model completely. She discovered that many single women, especially those who are intentionally single, score higher on measures of self-determination, personal growth, and life satisfaction than their partnered counterparts. Think about that. Not equal, higher. Why? Because when you remove the social pressure to couple up, something powerful happens inside the human mind. You start building a life on your own terms. This brings us to one of the most important psychological frameworks for understanding this: self-determination theory, developed by Edward Deci and Richard Ryan. The theory argues that human beings have three core psychological needs: autonomy, competence, and connection. Now, here's what most people get wrong. They assume that connection must come from a romantic relationship, but the research says otherwise. Women who choose to stay single often build wider and deeper social networks with friends, family, and community than women in exclusive romantic partnerships. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships confirmed this. Single women reported significantly more meaningful friendships and stronger support systems than married women. Think of it like this. Imagine your emotional energy as a budget. When you're in a relationship, a massive portion of that budget goes to one person. When you're single, you diversify, and sometimes diversification pays off more. Now, I know what some of you are thinking right now. She must have trust issues. She must have been hurt before. And yes, sometimes that's true. But here's the part the trauma narrative completely misses. Psychologists distinguish between two types of single women: reactive singles, those who are single due to past pain, and elective singles, those who actively choose this lifestyle from a place of wholeness, not wounding. Dr. Kristen Summers' research at Baruch College found that elective singles demonstrate remarkably high levels of interoceptive awareness, meaning they are deeply in tune with their own emotional needs, desires, and boundaries. They're not running away from love, they're running toward themselves. And here's the part that nobody talks about. A landmark study from the American Sociological Review found that marriage increases happiness, but only for people who were already happy before marriage. For women who entered relationships from a place of loneliness or societal pressure, marriage actually decreased their well-being over time. The conclusion the researchers quietly buried? The relationship itself isn't the source of happiness. The person you are before the relationship is. And women who choose to stay single, many of them have figured this out intuitively, long before the science ever caught up. So the next time someone looks at a woman living happily on her own and asks, why is she still single? Maybe the better response is, why wouldn't she be? She isn't lost. She isn't broken. She isn't waiting. She simply decided that a life built entirely on her own foundation is not a consolation prize. It might actually be the whole point. If this shifted your perspective even slightly, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And drop in the comments, do you think society is finally starting to respect women who choose to stay single? Or do we still have a long way to go? Thanks for watching, and see you the next briefing.